Hi everybody, Dave here from American Landscapes in Cincinnati, Ohio, and we're talking about boxwoods today. Over the last couple years, boxwoods have been hit hard by a lot of different things. In 2025, we saw box tree moth really move through our area. Started, for us anyway, we saw it north of town, a lot in like Milford and Loveland, Indian Hill, places like that, and toward the end of the summer, we saw it everywhere. So people who were sleeping on it and didn't realize it, they wake up and their boxwoods are brown and dead. Boxwood's still a great plant. We can prevent the box tree moth and the other problems that boxwoods have, but we have noticed a lot of homeowners making choices to plant other things instead of boxwoods, or rather than replace with new boxwoods, go with something different. So some of the plants that we're using and that have become popular as boxwoods replacements, the number one is Mr. Bowling Ball arborvitae. This is the hot plant of 2025. If you were buying stock in plants, Mr. Bowling Ball has been the one that everyone's been going to. In my opinion, it's still not as good as a boxwood, but it does kind of have the round shape, green. It's a nice texture. Most of your internet searches are going to say it gets about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide, which would be nice, but we've seen these get a lot bigger. 3 to 5 by 3 to 5 round is not out of the question. Little Giant arborvitae is another one. It's an arborvitae like the Mr. Bowling Ball, but a different texture of leaf. It gets a little bit bigger in its maturity, and I'd say it doesn't shear quite as well. I mean, we can shear it, but it's one, a lot of times we like to plant, give it some space, and let it grow. It makes a nice ball. Don't have to trim it to make a ball shape, but it can get a little big. This one's definitely going to be 4 to 5 over time, but it is very slow growing, so it's not going to get there fast, and it is considered a very low maintenance plant. Another plant that's gotten really popular is Fire Chief arborvitae. This is right there with Mr. Bowling Ball as the most popular choice to replace boxwoods. These behave themselves nicely. They stay in a nice round shape. They get about 3 to 4 feet circle. Again, kind of a slow grower, but it gets that red tint, especially if it's in more sun. A red tint to the leaves is the big differentiator. It will shear okay. It's been popular. People like that yellowish red tint. That's why they call it Fire Chief. I guess it looks like it's got a little fire going on. Now, Cephalotaxis, these have been around a long time, and they look similar to a traditional taxus or a yew, but a traditional yew or taxus is very susceptible to being eaten by deer. That's the downside to the traditional taxus. These have a little bit more, I'd say, arching or graceful look to them, a little bit more unique than the traditional taxus plant. They will grow in the shade, which is nice because a lot of the varieties we're discussing would prefer the sun. Where a boxwood will grow sun or shade, these will also grow in the shade. They won't tolerate as much sun, but they will take some. But they'll do good in the shade. And there are a lot of varieties, individual varieties of Cephalotaxis to choose from. Some upright, some more rounded, some more low and mounding. So these are really cool plants, and I think we'll be using them a lot more over the next few years. All right, cherry laurels have been around and gaining popularity over the last few years. They, some of them, like Otto Lucan, is more of a short, fat, wide one, where it's going to only get 3 or 4 feet tall, but could get 6 to 8 feet wide. Otto Lucan, we tend to use a little bit less. We tend to use skip laurels more, the skipinaceous. They do flower. It's a fragrant flower, but you're not planting it for the flower. You're planting it for the oblong, glossy, evergreen leaf. These are, a nice evergreen plant. Skip laurel is going to get more upright and tall, better for like a hedge, and the Otto Lucan more short and flat. Holly is another possible replacement for boxwoods. There's a lot of different kinds of holly, and in Cincinnati area, we've had our trouble with traditional holly. They perform good some places, others not so well. They tend to like soil a little bit more on the acidic side. But there are a lot of varieties of the inkberry holly that have become popular because they do look a lot similar to a boxwood. They don't have a prickly leaf like a normal holly. It's a leaf very similar to that of a boxwood. There are some newer varieties of inkberry that we're going to give a chance to. Soft Touch is one. It looks like it should stay small. The problem we have with these traditionally or over the years is they get a little leggy as they grow, and they start to show a lot of wood branches in the bottom, and that's not really a good look for them. But we're hoping that plants like Soft Touch and Gym Box, those are two varieties that look a lot like a boxwood in their young age especially. could take a place of a boxwood. Strong box is another one, gets a little bigger. So the inkberry hollies are worth looking at least as boxwood replacements. If we can help with boxwoods or any of these replacements or other replacement plants, feel free to reach out anytime. We're happy to help.